Some of us have a walkout basement patio, which is like 3 or 4 feet underground sometimes. And we wonder, we got a small yard. What do we do with this? I want a greenhouse. So, here's the greenhouse. As you can see, I've got a vent window. It faces to the south here. And this is the cyanoacrylic panels with a tape that is designed for greenhouses, and it's built on a small metal frame. It's flush with the ground, sticking out. Then as I come around to my steps down into my patio, you can see that my ceiling is a deck above it. When we come down into the patio, it's a workplace. And my door, which I have a latch on it, and of course, see the string? So I walk inside. Here is the interior of my greenhouse. As you can see, the metal framework, it's actually from a small 3-foot by 8-foot approximately, one of those plastic cloth greenhouses. Those don't hold up real well in the weather. Strong wind will tear them apart. That's why I built it this way, because it tore it apart. Now, as far as that latch on the door, that takes care of that. So, simple solutions. Just goes through a hole in the wall, as you can see here. Inside, I have electricity brought in, and I have a timer for my lights. I'm going to go slowly from top to bottom. I have storage above it. I have one of those 5-shelf units that's 4 feet wide, so you can tell this is a 4-foot into the greenhouse, into the patio, okay? The ground is right there, and my working area, this is a 5-gallon jug that I have decided to use to keep water in, and I'm just sealing this up is what I've been doing. And so I have peppers overwintering there. And over here, of course, storage on top. 2 heat mats with grow boxes. And I have controllers for the heat mats, so I can set my control on them, okay? Next layer down, a third one. Now these are 5 by 8, yeah. So they're 40 each, and that works for me. Then I have my cocoa coir over there, and a bucket with cocoa coir where I mix it. And that, mixed with soil, will become my seed starter. And I use the, this one is actually the cocoa coir with 1 part worm castings. Okay, I use worm castings. So if I use 3 cups cocoa coir, I would use 1 cup of castings, and I mix that in there. And then down below, I have assorted storage items. I have a disassembled tomato cages. I can build 6 tomato cages there. And clear on the bottom here, behind my other overwintering peppers, I have various things for the greenhouse, including irrigation equipment. On the other side, I have a note wall, which eventually, someday, will be finished all the way to the floor, and this will all be insulated. I have solid foam EPX panels that I'll be putting in there. This is my working desk. I have below it, I have an annual books for my planting. I have a seed box, and I have my tools. Underneath it, I have a storage shelves for various things. Paint for some work I'm going to be doing. Fertilizer glue, WD-40, which is excellent for killing wasps. And then below that on the floor, I have peppermint soap, and I combine that with potassium bicarbonate, okay, and water, and make a solution that I will put into spray containers to kill powdery mildew. And then I have various bins of, let's see, diatomaceous earth, indoor potting mix, various fertilizers. This is what I use for a potting mix for my, because I do container gardening out front. And then I have various fertilizers here. Muriate of potash, which would be used for potatoes potentially, but nothing else. I don't have very much of it. Bone meal, blood meal, soil acidifier, because my soil mix comes in at a 7.0 pH, and I acidify it slightly to a 6 or 6.5 for many of my crops, but my blueberries I take down to a 5 to a 5.5. Then I have a small container of earthworm castings that I can carry with me, and I use the sack. I've got 2 sacks actually. I use a sack indoors. So this, of course, is my working area. This is my water line for watering indoors. And as you can see, there's plenty of tubing here so that I can get it over and into those. But because this is lower than this, I obviously would have to bring these down to fill them. Shade cloth that I will put out in the spring, and I have a raised bed garden in the back, and in my front yard I do container gardening instead of lawn. And that is what you can do with a small yard. We have, the house has about a 950 square foot footprint, but it's 2 floors, and the total yardage I believe is 1/5 of an acre standard lot size, so it's not big. But this is a working greenhouse in case you wanted to have one. It's fairly simple. It took me 3 years to figure out exactly how to build it correctly. But I've seen many greenhouses on YouTube, but I have not seen any that simply incorporate a walkout basement patio. All right? I hope you enjoy. I hope this is useful. This over here is my storage area for supplies. I have 3 sprayers here, ant killer, brush killer. I have cloth gardening bags where I will be using the buckets that I showed you inside the greenhouse will become flower buckets, and my vegetables and stuff will go into these fiber buckets as they get. And I've got 20 of a 25-gallon size, which I will plant 4 plants like peppers. I might put 4 jalapenos into 1 bucket because that is far more than they need. They get by with 5 to 10, so I'm going to plant 4 in each of mine. And these are all packages of the neutral pH garden soil. And that is my greenhouse. So if this gives you any ideas of how to use your property, go for it. I am more than happy to share, and I appreciate any comments you may have. All right, enjoy.